Hi friends, MD Vegan. I have a new recipe for you. On my Gentle Juicefasting day, I do that once a week. I make always a new juice recipe, for example, or plant milk or so, whatever I drink. I only drink on these fasting days. I reduce calories and I pause my digestion by taking the fiber away from the food. That what is not digestible, I take it away. The juice is just the nutrients, the water. The fiber is not nutrients mostly. I take it away so the juice goes directly into the blood, into the system, and is absorbed without digestion. And by doing that, by reducing calories and pausing the digestion, the metabolism, the way I get energy in the body is reversed, and I no longer burn glucose in my cells. That is the usual way. Sugar is burned in the cells to get energy. On these fasting days, it is ketones. That is a smaller molecule, and it is another mode. It's more efficient. The body goes to ketosis, and when it has too little calories, it begins to burn ketones. It's more effective, gives more energy, less material, and it's cleansing itself. That's a very fascinating thing. I don't go into that now. It's very effective. So once a week I do that. I'm used to that. I do it in a gentle way, so I don't push myself. The juices are a wonderful way to make it gentle and non-violent. And when you cleanse the body, the mind also gets clarified. What I don't need in the mind, I let it go. I tidy up my mind, clear it out, and then the creativity can shine into my body, into my mind. I can be creative. I feel more intense, and I think more clearly, and I have great ideas. Yeah, it's very nice. I mean, when the fasting and the cleansing is in the foreground, it's a very gross process of cleansing. In the beginning, when you begin to fast, it's a long-term process over years and years and decades. In the beginning, it can be a little bit tough, and then it's not so much about creativity, it's more about cleansing. But the more you cleanse, the more the creativity comes in the foreground. And that's, of course, very nice. And the best way for me to be creative on a fasting day, the chef is making new juice recipes, and it's an intuitive way of cooking. I learn and teach at the same time here, teach it to you now, but I learn myself the most, I would say, and I learn intuitive cooking. That means, for me, mainly without having recipes with precise measurements. I just see the ingredients and I feel how much I need. An easy way I explain with the greens here. The greens usually are something bitter. You make a juice with the greens, a green juice. It's usually bitter, and that most people don't like that. Too much bitter is too unpleasant and not gentle. And so I add fruit to the greens, and so I make it balanced and sweet and bitter, or sour and sweet and bitter, or sharp, and that is pleasant. That's nice. That's balanced. It's also health is also a balanced state. So I get into this balance with the sweet and the bitter. And here, for example, when I say intuitive cooking, what I mean is I use half-half. So ratio 1-to-1, usually the begin. I don't know how much I need from the fruit. So I say, my experience tells me 1-to-1, same amounts. For example, I have a cucumber here. That's two cups cucumber, a little bit more, 3 cups maybe, 1 cucumber. And also a bunch of parsley. I maybe say another 2 cups, parsley. I be very coarse here, maybe 1 cup, you press it. And another cup or 2, very grossly, celery stalks. Just 2 or 3 stalks celery. Put it together, you have both 2 cups cucumber, 2 cups celery and parsley, maybe 3. So you have maybe 5 cups or so veggie. And here 4 cups or 5, the way you measure pears and apples. So I have basically my main ingredients here. The base of the recipe is greens, 4 cups, and fruit, 4 cups. So 1 to 1. That's how I would say intuitive cooking works, to make it very easy to understand what I'm talking about. So I know I have the same amounts of parsley, greens here, and sweets. That usually would be something nice. Maybe I need a little bit more fruit, maybe a little bit more greens. I can always tune. I can begin with this, and then I taste it and say, okay, more of this and that. That's how to do it. That's intuitive. As opposed to have a recipe with maybe 10 or 15 ingredients, a large number, and then you have precise measurements, and that is not intuitive. You don't understand why that much. I mean, maybe you understand when you read it, but to create that recipe by yourself without having the measurements before your eyes, that would be not so easy for a cook that is not so experienced. When you know, for example, take the same amounts of this and that to begin with, that would usually work. Then you have something to start with, and it's easy to attune, you know. So that's the base of my recipe idea, take 3. The idea how to create new recipes with the method of take 3 is based on exactly that idea, because I have 3 ingredients is the minimum. Because of what I explained just before, because when you have more ingredients, the check, 1 to 1, 1 to 2 or so, is no longer possible. You have the more ingredients, the more complicated these calculations become, and you can't do it intuitively anymore. You don't see it anymore, you don't feel it anymore, it's too complicated. That's why take 3 is the method, and there is much more to it, but for now that might be enough to give you an idea why I use the take 3 method. And this example is a nice one, and greens are nice on the fasting day because they're cleansing. Oftentimes I also take juices, like red juices, a beet juice for example. It's a basic fasting juice. They are more empowering, give me energy, like endurance for a workout or so. But the greens are giving me more like cleansing, like a deep breath inside of the body, like the breeze, refreshing. Yeah, that is the greens, cleansing also. But that is also very coarse explanation, just a gross idea. You can drink all the kind of juices every day you want at the fasting day. I mean, usually fasting is for juices for fasting, but usually with me on a regular day, on a not fasting day, I eat whole food with the fiber. The fiber is one of the most important parts of the food. If you leave away the fiber from the food, you will not be healthy. The immune system is breaking down, the intestines don't work anymore, very bad. Yeah, food that is healthy gets poisonous almost without fiber. Sugar is the best example. Oil, no fiber, almost toxic. Yeah, not good in small amounts. Fiber has to be rare there. That's only in plants. So on a fasting day, I take it away. A different story. But a regular day, usually I take the fiber, and that's why juices are mostly for fasting days. That can be refreshing on a regular day too, but you need a lot of produce to make a little bit of juice, of course, yeah, because the fiber goes away. So, and on a fasting day, these juices are nice. Today I make a new recipe with the flavor of the greens, the pear, the cucumber and the parsley. Yeah, that's today my juice, basically. These are the main green ingredients: parsley and cucumber. Both by itself is almost impossible to enjoy because they are bitter. The parsley is a little bit more sour than bitter, but it's for the juice. It's very powerful. Parsley, cleansing, very strong. Heavy metals go out, yeah, and very powerful. The parsley, but has a very strong flavor too, peppery a little bit, and sour. And the cucumber is more bitter, has a lot of water. But in a fasting day, it is a nice thing to the base for a juice, and the pear and the apple goes together with it. As I would use that here, the pear and the apple Also with the parsley and pear is a perfect combination. It's a perfect fit match. And apple and cucumber also perfect match. It's the basic juices. Apple, cucumber, pear, parsley. Here I have them both in one recipe. That's how I go to the next step. You see these are 7 ingredients. That's a lot already, but the base is 2 ingredients each. Apple, cucumber, pear, parsley. Very easy to understand. And the celery here, the celery stalks, they are more like a seasoning. And a wonderful seasoning because it's a green also. Super healthy, cleansing and so. Wonderful nutrients. They go together with the apple so nice. So apple, cucumber and celery, it's a very nice combination. The celery makes it a little more earth flavor, a smoky tone. It's a little bit like a cool, a very nice, exciting seasoning. Makes a little bit more exciting everything. I add that to many recipes now, especially juices. Just a little bit of celery, not too much. 2 stalks, 3 stalks, no more. It's too much. And then it has this exciting smoky tone, new tone. Many of my recipes I have made before without celery. Then I found out, oh, celery is so nice, the smoky tone. And I added to the old recipes some changes with the celery, and wow, there you go. That's something new, something more sophisticated. Very nice, you gotta try that. So that is the base, and then I usually, or oftentimes, I refine everything with a little bit of lemon and ginger. That's this pairing here is a classic combination for many recipes. Lemon and ginger are super nice ingredients to support the other ingredients. Not so much to give a new flavor, but to add heat and also to keep it fresher. The lemon is an antioxidant. It keeps the other ingredients fresher. And sour gives you more of the sugar flavor and balances also the bitter flavor. Lemon is wonderful for that. And the ginger is the hot ginger flavor, the heat. It fires up the other ingredients, allows the body to absorb more of the nutrients. The ginger is a magic ingredient gives you more nutrients to absorb. The ginger does that. It supports the other ingredients in their effectivity. And the heat also balances the bitter flavor. The bitter is the cleansing element. It's in the greens. So, and I use some of the peel of the lemon. I'll try, because that is the most essential nutrient from the lemon is the yellow color outside. And I can use sometimes, it's a very strong flavor, I can use sometimes a little bit of juice to give it a little bit more zing. I'll try and I'll tell you after the juicing and I come back how much lemon peel I took. Sometimes with a bitter flavor, you don't want to use too much lemon peel, it gets too bitter overall. I have to balance it with the other ingredients. There we go. See you in a moment. The juice is done. It's a liter about. And tried a little bit of peel in between. I was surprised. It was so delicious. Wow, I thought all the peel in. So it's whole peel, whole lemon, whole peel is in. And it's a beautiful color here. See? It's a nice green, beautiful color, light green. There's a lot of greens in there, the 3 different greens, the celery, parsley, and the cucumber. So, and the same amount of fruit, apples, pears mainly, and the lemon and the ginger just a little bit to heighten up the others. Now let's taste it. I tasted in between with the peel, but not the end product, not this one. Now let's see. So the texture is nice and creamy. It's a light juice with a light color and a little bit of creaminess. That is usually not in the cucumber juice is runny, very runny. But as soon as you put pears in, for example, it gets creamy. The pears always can make a creamier juice, a thicker juice. Apple can be a little bit creamy, but it's more runny. Depends also on the ripeness of the apple. But here, it's very nice. It's in between thick and creamy and runny. I will show you when I pour it into a little glass. Looks nice to me. Color nice, texture nice. Let's see the flavor. It's most important. Oh yeah. So you can always debate about the lemon peel. how much you want. Some love it, some say it's too much. I took the whole one, I'm happy. But if you want to make that juice, you may begin with a half, and then you taste it and maybe a little bit more. It can be a little bit overwhelming, but I love it, and I usually don't take that much, but this one is really nice with it. I'll show you what it looks like. It's a wonderful juice. The flavor is really nice and balanced. You know, the green and the fruit here has a perfect balance, well, I would say. I'm really surprised about this wonderful flavor. Texture also, it's a wonderful creaminess. After all, on a fasting day like this, I use such a juice, about a liter usually, I make as a meal. I drink it slowly. As I said, it goes into the bloodstream immediately without any digestion. That means fast. And when I drink it fast, can cause sugar spikes, they call that. So in the blood sugar level goes up very fast and goes down very fast. That is not good for the mind. You know, you can also pass away or so. Not pass away, you can pass out, you know, or lose consciousness or so in the extreme. Usually you want to have it slowly and moderate, and so I drink that slowly. Juices, drinking slowly like a meal over some time, and that is a good thing to do. And the system is not overwhelmed with these things. Yeah, that's what I do, and I will drink one more juice maybe today. And then I drink a lot of water, of course. I make teas and also coffee, all kinds of beverages I like. Plant milk sometimes at the end of the day, on the fasting day, plant milk or fat. That means it gives a little bit more comfort. It slows down the fasting, it's more calories, so fasting is slower at night to the evening, that's night. That's nice. On a fasting day, I usually need less sleep. My intestines are almost empty. You know, and then I can do better performance on the yoga mat or walking or being creative. Energy is really up away from digestion. Usually digestion takes 60% of the energy from the food. Yeah, and every day, 60%, most of the food goes into the digestion only. And on a fasting day, nothing goes into digestion, basically. Yeah, it goes all the energy you take in goes into your into your use. Yeah, to be used actively. That's very nice. Cleansing, being creative, clarifying the mind. So it's a great day. I'm very enthusiastic on a fasting day. And once you get used to it after some time and you moderate it, if it is too much. If I say, oh, that's a strong fasting today, I just eat something. I take a smoothie, maybe a little bit of fiber, or a broth, a light salad. The fasting is then also there. You're still reducing calories. You reduce fiber. The intestine is works slower, but you don't do it that fast, and that can be very nice. Yeah. Earlier, before I didn't know this gentle juice fasting method. Many years ago, I just did the fasting, and I pushed myself. I said, I have to do that now. Wow, I need to be strong and so disciplined. Yeah, I thought that, and I feel different now. It's much more effective if I do it moderate. Feel always great, you know. But when you feel great, that means there's a balance inside, and the balance mode is the healing mode. The body heals itself, and the mind also. Balance is the old secret of healing in ancient medicine. Balance on all kinds of levels. And this is still so today, but we don't think in terms of balance that much. It's more older thinking, but it's still true. Yeah. So I slow down a little bit, and then I feel balanced, and then my success, you know, is much more stable. In the long run, it's always better to have stable continuity. That's the secret of the old sciences and arts, yoga or Asian philosophies. They are ancient cultures, much older than the Western cultures, and so they have a lot more experience, thousands of years more to check out things, and so we can learn a lot in the West from the Eastern knowledge from our ancestors. Yeah, the fasting is an example. It's wonderful. It's in all cultures, everywhere is practiced all the time, and only in modern days, only in the industrial age, we have food plenty all the time. Earlier on, in the most part of our existence, human race, we ate only sometimes, and oftentimes we ate not for a longer period, because I had no food. Yeah. So that is a modern thing. We have food all the time, but the fasting is natural to us. And it can be done easily. And one day fasting, for example, like the medicine and for the modern medical view, one day fasting is when you are healthy, no problem at all. But when you fast longer than one day, 2 days, 3, then there can be harm to the inner organs, for example, you don't even notice. And so when you fast for a longer time, you might want to have a medical surveillance or medical professionals and have contact and oversight over what you do. But one day is easy. That's also why we do the practice of gentle juice fasting, because it's so easy. Everybody can do it, provided you are healthy, of course. Your overall health has to be there. Then it cannot harm you. So it's a safe way to do it through this wonderful practice. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you like my video, subscribe to Ami Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day. And find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. And there is another page on Facebook called Tree Yoga Moon Fasting. And that page has all my juice recipes. And I have a fasting calendar for the best fasting days. There are special days even more perfect, but it's not important, small things. But you can go there and try to be a member, check it out, and so forth. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you soon.